I just want to talk briefly about spiritual abuse. We've got a definition of spiritual abuse I'll put up on the screen for you, because it's important for us to understand what Jesus is saying and what he's not saying, and it's important for us to have a grid to understand. If we're talking about what a healthy church is, we also need a grid to look at what an unhealthy church is. And one of the signs of an unhealthy church is spiritual abuse. Spiritual abuse is a form of emotional and psychological abuse. Pete was just talking about how that happens in the context of a family. Sadly, it can also happen in the context of a church. It's characterized by a systematic pattern of coercive and controlling behaviour in a religious context. Spiritual abuse can, and I would suggest does, have a deeply damaging impact on those who experience it. The abuse may include things like manipulation and exploitation, enforced accountability, censorship of decision-making, taking decision-making out of people's own hands, requirements for secrecy and silence, coercion to conform, and inability to ask questions, control through the use of sacred texts or teaching, requirement of obedience to the abuser, the suggestion that the abuser has a divine position, isolation as a means of punishment, and superiority and elitism. If any process in the church takes away your agency, feels controlling or coercive, it is most likely abuse. The church is never meant to be controlling or coercive. Ever.